Greetings and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where at long last the Mexican Socialist Republic has recaptured the territory of Venezuela. For too long they went without our Cuban cigars, tequila and other forms of Mexican-based entertainment, most notably, of course, Mexican film and television in the form of Gallardo flicks and, of course, the Mexican Socialistica Televisia network broadcasts, although, of course, we continued to broadcast as we do throughout the entire world. But it is our understanding that the bourgeois elite of Venezuela took extraordinary steps to try and prevent people from picking up such transmissions. But no more. Oh no. For Ramon Sales, our newest and most fresh-faced general, and indeed clone brother to our glorious and most magnificent of leaders, Dino Inca, has conquered Venezuela in the name of the Mexican Socialist Republic. There are but a few pockets remaining, and those pockets are soon to fall to us. So in the south, things are going really rather well indeed. The last outpost of Allied presence in the South Americas, with the exception of a few European territories here, has fallen to us, and will soon be swept up into the Green Dawn and the Mexican Socialist Republic proper. And I think we're going to continue Ramon Sales' campaign down here to try and conquer these European states here, because, you know, I'm sure they're going to be of use. And we could maybe grab these islands and stuff as well, because I'm sure that we will want to have island getaways to go and hang out in. Look, we've got ships. I mean, we've got troops travelling by sea in the extremely dangerous and fought over seas of the Caribbean Sea and indeed the Gulf of Mexico and possibly the Florida coast at some point as well. All of these seas, of course, are extremely dangerous. We do have a canoe fleet out here. Look, we have the first canoe fleet of Mexico under the command of the canoe man himself, Paul Suarez, out there, presumably escorting him as he is a convoy. I assume convoy escort works on troops who are being escorted as well. We could also switch them up to like search and destroy to really send them out fighting and stuff. We haven't had an enormous amount of success at sea, to be fair. The canoe fleets have come off fairly badly when they have engaged the American forces, but hopefully, you know, that will not continue forevermore. We also have our second canoe fleet under the command of the newly officer minted Emiliano Musquiz, who is, of course, a master of the pub quiz, which is referred to as Musquiz in Mexico. I don't know if you're aware of that, but it is true. It is definitely the case. He is like in dock at the moment and ready to kind of like rock and roll. I think he has got some of his ships currently undergoing repairs, but a lot of his submarines, look, are like absolutely tickety-boo and ready to go. Plus he has a heavy cruiser 3, which is also looking pretty swift. Does our first canoe fleet have any heavy cruisers amongst its... Oh my god, look at that. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heavy cruisers are counted amongst the awesome firepower and extreme devastation. Heavy canoes, one might call them, are ready to rock and roll and take out all of the enemies. Of course, that's the situation in the south and at sea, but the really serious situation, the one that we are pouring all of our firepower, all of our resources, and a good number of our men into, is of course the war along the American-Mexican border, and it is kind of at a bit of a stalemate at the moment. And by stalemate, I think I'm being generous towards us, because the American forces are massive. They have got really enormous forces arrayed against us, and our forces are looking like they're stretched pretty thin. We do have some more coming downstream, but frankly, they probably will be a while yet. Have any idea of when these will be ready? They will be finished on the 3rd of January 1947. It is currently September 1946. We're going to have to wait quite a while for these forces to become available for us. I'm going to add some more, look. Got a couple more. There we go. 4 across the board. They will also be awesome when they arrive. We haven't yet managed to connect up our expeditionary force under the command of Gallardo Magna, the most charismatic, the most well-manicured, and the most loved and respected man alive. He is currently cut off in the free Mexican territories of the west coast of America / California, of course, with the headquarters in the flower capital itself, San Francisco, which is good. I mean, he's looking pretty spread thin as well. We really do need to connect up here, but We just don't seem to be able to budge. I mean, they've just stuck like a massive number of troops between us, which frankly is far from ideal. You know what? Let's further mess with these borders here a little bit. Look, Ramon? No, not you. Not you. Louis Farrell, we want you to bring your front line up this way to here, and Gallardo, you can bring your front line back away to there, and you will just be in Los Angeles, just the city of lost angels, the city of lost Mexican angels, indeed, as is probably the case. You better get down there and like guard. In fact, you can get up there and guard there, and you can get up there and guard there. You three can move up there. Good. Yeah, Louis Farrell is he's just kind of in a holding pattern at the moment. We're just kind of like holding down the fort here. However, the man himself, Bustamante, is in position and is ready to execute his Manti-busting plan to win. It's gonna be the plan to win. That's basically what it boils down to. Bustamante is now going to win by utilizing his exceptional planning and expertise and other such things. What's their planning bonus at? Plan preparation, 36%. Alright, you know what? That's pretty good. Why are you not all assigned to there? There we go. What have I done? I've just assigned them all to Louis Farrell. That was not what I meant to do. You are meant to be in Bustamante's forces. Bustamante. We need to rename it, of course, because it is the Mexican Legion of Ultimate Cunningness. There we go. Bustamante's Mexican Legion of Ultimate Cunningness. You guys have I just completely ruined their like plan preparation now? Front line of there. Offensive line of where should we go with them? Where shall we take him? Should we take Salt Lake City? We're just gonna bust in here like We'll say that Salt Lake City is the ultimate objective, but that's not actually what we're going to execute. We're just going to like charge in and control them by hand. We are going to micro Bustamante as he busts the manties of the American forces, allowing us to consolidate our border here and try and shorten it as much as possible and make it more Mexican in its essence, in its essential quality and fantasticness. Because at the moment, look, we're defending a lot more territories than we need to. If we can take like this territory and this territory, for example, that frees up 3 territories that we don't have to defend. And I'm sure we can find other efficiencies as we bust through there. But Bustamante, what's your plan preparation bonus? 36, 18. We'll let you plan for a little bit. Let's just unpause and allow the clock to start running. We of course are suffering from enemy air superiority in the Caribbean Sea and the East China Sea, but we don't really care too much about that. We also have a supply problem in the West Coast because we haven't managed to connect our forces back up yet. But you know, we're on that. We're on it. We are totally on it. We don't really want you down there. Let's just send this force down there. If we have to have somebody down. Let's concentrate all of our spare forces that we can along here. Look, yes, we also have supply problems in the southwest, unfortunately, because of the sheer concentration of forces that we have there. Can we like do anything with that in the southwest? New Mexico. New Mexico is currently under repair. That's fine. We'll continue that. We also want Texas. We'll put that to the top to continue repairs of the infrastructure in Texas, and we might as well put California up there as well. There we go. We're repairing all of the infrastructures in all of the places most of the time, because infrastructure is of course vital for supplying our troops and stuff. Plus, look at this 50% attrition. I think because they keep walking around in the mountains. Like, stop moving around in the mountains, Louis. Well, I mean, what do you think? Look at this. Look, he's just issued like 1,000 orders to move all of his troops around. Don't do that. Everyone just stay where you are. Like, just stay where you are. They are crazy. Oh, we should definitely give Bustamante his own color. We'll give him the color of genius, which would be purple, but that's also the wizarding color. So instead we'll go with like a kind of rich blue, like a rich deep blue. There we go. Those are his forces. We're also going to transfer these extra forces from Louis Farrell into his command, so that he's got more and greater army with which to operate. Stay where you are. Hold the line. Continue to hold the line. You are all performing admirably, and I expect and desire for you to continue performing admirably. Alright, we're going to unpause the clock once again. It's all very crazy, I have to say, right now. I mean, it's properly nuts and stuff. But we have a nuke in the bag, and we are nearly halfway to having another nuke in the bag. So, that's pretty good. Unassign this unit from the Army Command. Alright, fine. We're going to create another unit here. There, you two. We want you. You can form a new, like a backup army, as it were, a backup force to assist Gallardo in reconnecting himself to the greater Mexican peoples. Because for too long, we have been without his great genius and magnificence. I mean, he's not far, but, like, you know, and we probably are able to get messages by radio and air and things like that. Supply status 64%. We're getting some attrition on our truck Chicos. But that's alright, that's fine. They will just have to make do with a limited tequila ration for the time being. We must all make sacrifices. Alright, you lot. Just stay there, right? Just stay there. Just don't. I wish there was a way of telling them, of overriding, like, the command for them to go and, like, you know, guard the border elsewhere, because I just want them to stay there and build up their preparation without having to split them off into their own army. Come on, boys. You move down there, you move down there, you move down there. Make sure that all of the slots are covered. You can move there. Protect the line. We don't want anyone being left on their own. We don't want any territories left undefended that the Americanos might suddenly sneak into, like the nefarious forces that they are. Look, we might be able to do a bit of a cunning one here. Look, everyone attack here, and everyone attack here, and you as well, just because you're there and you're ready. If we can, like, take these two territories and cut off all of these troops, I mean, that would be quite the coup. Of course, he'll probably just, in fact, you know what we can do? We can distract them by attacking them. Distract them by attacking them. They'll never know what's going on. They won't want to retreat because they will be currently being attacked by many a force. Many a brave and terrible force shall come down upon them with great fury and terrible anger. For those who, look, we've already driven these tanks out. Already they're being driven like crazy away from us into the far beyond. These troops have finished their distraction attempt, and hopefully it was done quick enough. We're going to move in and take this territory. More troops to assist in that. Come on, boys. This is going to work. Look, this time it's going to work. These people are going to be driven out, and these guys are going to turn right around and attack this territory, combine their forces with everything else, with everyone else, trying to bring in more troops. It's no good. It's no good. It's not going to work, boys. It is not going to work. We have a naval combat in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's check that out. Naval combat in the Gulf of Mexico. It is our convoy. Our convoy is under attack. But Paul Suarez, the canoe man, has moved in to engage. He is bringing in his heavy cruisers. He's going up against, unfortunately, aircraft carriers, which is not ideal. Can we, like, retask some of our aeroplanes? These guys might be able to make it into warfighters, tactical bombers, close air support. Let's give some close air support. Jet fighters. Look, let's unassign one wing of jet fighters. Send them back to reserves, and we'll bring them down here. Jet fighters, bring them in, and we will try and provide some kind of air cover over the Gulf of Mexico, and hopefully we'll be able to shoot down all of these nefarious aircraft carrier, like, launched fighters, which are causing us all manner of chaos and confusion at seas. The Mexicans just do not know how to handle this. It is inconceivable of them. Why would anyone want to launch perfectly good aircraft off of some kind of giant flat canoe? It's balmy, I tell you. Absolutely balmy. Large ships on low strength. The first canoe fleet of Mexico has one large ships on low strength. Okay, well, just you know, do something about it, I suppose. Non-aggression pact from the Libyan Socialist Republic? Sure, why not? Naval battle report. Oh, look, we lost some convoys. We lost some convoys to stinking air raid from the canoe, the giant flat canoes. Who has come up with this crazy plan? Alright, so things are not going great at sea, it seems. We're gonna have to give some attention to our canoe forces. But for now, let's turn our attention back to the land, which is, you know, by far the more important. Hopefully, like, these units will get through. If not, they'll be destroyed. And you know, say la vie. Say la vie. Buster Manti, are you ready to begin the Manti busting? What are you at? 5%, 50-50, 50-40, 46-26. Give them a few more moments to prepare whilst we continue to monitor the situation. here at this place. Let's move a truck Chicos back to defend that territory. Not all of them. The rest of you, what? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are they all going back? Stop that! Stop that! Alright, some troops have moved back, some troops have moved in. All of these troops, for some reason, have decided to move over there. We don't want them to move over there. We want them to come basically in and help to attack here. But unfortunately, because we weren't able to breach the line on this side, he's probably now going to reinforce there from here with all of those troops and forces and things. But it's fine. Look, we are making progress slowly but surely. Gallardo is commanding his, leading his men by example. I mean, his example is all the way up here because he's like one of these Unicornio divisions. Of course, is his own personal and extreme guard. Look at all these guys. All these guys are completely weakened. Should we send a tank in? Let's see if we can crush them. Oh yes, look at that. The tank's just going to drive around and just destroy all of these American forces and take all of these territories for ourselves. That's going to be great. Non-aggression pact request from the People's Republic of Korea. Sure, all the non-aggression that you can offer me right now is going to be good for us. We will definitely take advantage of all of that. He has us really reinforced this territory now. He is concerned about our incredible plan. We could just keep going further and further inland and try and encircle them like that. I mean, it could work. Alright, you lot. Let's see if we can successfully attack this territory. If we hit it from all sides now. Everyone in and take the territory. Everything we have. Everything we have. Get stuck in there. Do you think we should drop a nuke on them as well? Just to really hammer it home as much as possible. I guess the tanks are probably not really doing such a fantastic job. Alright, stop that. Attack there instead. Come on, boys. We can do it. We can do this. We can reconnect our peoples. We can return the glorious Gallardan expeditionary forces to direct land connection. The tequila will flow like honey on bread. Once the border is open, once the land connection has been made. At the moment, we're having to fly it in. It's coming in by air in just exceptional fashion. What's going on here? This territory has been left vacated. What are you doing over there? Come back here. Right, you come back here. You go to there. This Unicornio division can just romp around, taking each of these territories until they are gone. And this Unicornio division, Gallardo is going to triumphantly lead his men on a expedition to crush the remaining American forces that have been cut off from the greater American body of troops. And that is going to be great. Look, we have taken another territory. Let's just pause it. I don't know where the best place, probably here. Come on, let's get in there. Let us get in there. You boys come up here. You can stay there. You three can stay there for now, I guess. We really need to close this up. We really need to close it up and just tighten up the border. Once we take this, we'll just have one border to defend, and all of this kind of extra territory that we're having to string our troops along will just be no more. Meanwhile, Bustamante is going to execute. He is going to execute his plan. He's got some troops here who have finally managed to land. They are the only ones who made it through. Look, the great battle of the Gulf of Mexico, in which we were trying to bring troops through, has ended. One of the convoys was sunk. The rest got through, bringing this Mech Chicos division. The Mech Chicos, or possibly it is the Mech Chicos. Look, a Mech Chicos division has landed safe and sound. Meanwhile, the Americans continue to just pile up on the border here in a very scary way. But Bustamante is executing his attack. Look at that. He's going in. He is winning. We are going to break through there as well, I think. I hope to think. Actually, you guys can stay there. Send some troops up there. Good work. Good work. Oh, look, we are winning here. We're winning 51. Get stuck in here as well. We need to make this connection. We need to achieve this bridge between us all. It is of paramount importance. Meanwhile, I don't know what he's doing there. Get back into Sacramento and guard that territory with your life. You get over there. You troops can come down here. Where are these people going? Where are these people going? Let's delete this border, right? This does not need to be guarded. Okay? Are we happy with that? It does not need to be guarded. We're going to crush them, and they will be crushed, and there will be no more of them left anywhere to be worried about. Crush them all until they have been crushed. How is this? The front line remains more or less okay. We apparently have left a spot undefended here. We're going to need to move into that before they take advantage of it. We are winning the battle here once again. Come on, boys. Everything you've got. Everything you've got. 57, 58, 59, 60. The battle is being won. The Americans are being driven out of this territory, of the mountains of California. They have bitten off more than they can chew. They cannot withstand the awesome firepower of the Mexican army when fully engaged with the notion that they must reconnect the land connection to Gallardo's forces. For too long they have been without direct tequila and Cuban cigar supplies. Gallardo himself is down to his last few remaining supplies. But look, we have won the battle. We've won the battle. Our troops are moving in. We're going to cut off this enormous swathe of American forces. They're going to be cut off from their supply. There we go. It's done. It's done. All right, let's stop, pause for a second here. We need to hold this. We're currently losing it. We've got another troop coming in. We're going to send in that unit of infantry as well, and we'll then just basically wait for attrition to work its terrible powers upon all of these American forces. You lot, tanks can stay, and the mountain troops can continue on. That's good. You know what? I mean, it's really exciting. But we do have an unmanned territory here. So this guy is leaving the territory. Why are you leaving the territory? Because there's an undefended territory there. All right, you move in there. You move in there. You move in there. You move to there. You stay there. Good. The situation is under control. I've turned on day-night cycles. Inexplicably. You get back in there and defend that port. We must maintain that port. We cannot lose the port. We just cannot. I think we've basically destroyed them now. Look, they're going to bring in the last few forces. You boys can move up here, get back on the front line and protect it, whilst our infantry divisions finish off the Americans. They're continuing to be encircled, surrounded, and destroyed in California. Presumably they are turning themselves over to the Mexicans, accepting their tequila and Cuban cigar, their shot of tequila, their Cuban cigar, and and then quietly and peacefully returning to their homes, or being given homes in the new Mexican California, as the case may be. All right, we've got troops who are not assigned to anything for reasons that are not entirely clear. Let's assign all of these troops. There we go. You move up there. You are moving up there. Good. You know what? I think we might actually do this. I think we might actually hold them. The Mexican invasion of the Americas is going far better than I could have hoped. Texas is all but under our control. New Mexico and Arizona, the fighting is still fierce, but Bustamante has busted the manties of the Americas and made a breakthrough here. Look, he's going to just continue to charge on and try and break through into this territory, which will shorten our area substantially. All of these forces are already looking pretty weakened indeed, which is good. It's good for us. We'll leave one lot of truck chicos behind just to guard that territory. Let's unpause it and let it roll on for just a little bit longer and see if we can. Look, the attrition is going to start hitting these guys. They're not suffering from attrition right now, but they will. Their supply is gone, and they will soon begin to suffer the consequences. And look, there we go. Look at that attrition on all of them. It isn't showing us what the attrition is, but average organization 97, average strength 96, supply status 0%. They have no American equivalents of tequila, Cuban cigars, or anything else coming in. Gallardo's plan has come to fruition. Gallardo Magna, the most charismatic man alive, through pure charisma, flower power, and of course his usual Cuban cigar session-induced hallucinatory experiences, has managed to devise a plan to conquer California with, admittedly, many shells fired, many bullets, many shells, all of them with flowers painted upon them in one way or another, which have flown about the place. But by just sheer force of his own personality, he has managed to get his men to encircle a vast swathe of the American forces. This is a real coup for us. Look at all these forces. 10, 15, what's that, like 20? Probably another 15, another 20 odd. It's just a huge number of American divisions, which hopefully we're going to be able to crush when the time comes. When the time comes, they will fall. And then we'll be able to divert all of these forces that are concentrated around here to taking the rest of California and pushing out where we need to. We have also managed to encircle another group of American forces. Look, down here in the south, we ought to be able to crush them pretty easily with these forces. We just come in from all directions and wipe them out, all of them. Bustamante returns to the fold as a great Mexican war hero and general, for his successes have erased once and for all his previous, bad times. But there is much still to come. The campaign may be going well so far, but there is still a lot of the United States left to conquer. And now that we have a second nuclear weapon at our disposal, we will need to make further plans as to just how far into the United States we wish to go. The Mexican Socialist Revolution continues, my friends! Thanks a lot for watching. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.